21 of Elon Musk's top success tips from Elonology.com. But first, who am I? My name is Garin Kilpatrick, and you can find me at Garin on Twitter. I'm the author and producer of Elonology. I'm the world's #1 Elon Musk expert. I've been on Twitter longer than Elon Musk, since 2008, and I've watched every Elon Musk video, read every Elon Musk book, and I've read hundreds of articles about Elon, which is why I proclaim myself as the #1 world's Elon Musk expert. Elon has engaged with me on Twitter. This was definitely a highlight of my Twitter life. This was a couple months ago. They say SpaceX has big balls, and it's true. I quoted Elon Musk and got the like on that one. Better still, a month later, Elon sent me a reply. He sent me this bullseye, which got over 4,300 likes, and I got almost 2,000 likes on mine. Now, that was definitely the highlight of my Twitter. And I've had some good Twitter moments. Schwarzenegger liked a tweet of mine. Still, this is what it's like when Elon replies to you. Twitter just lights up. And it was like this for days. Hundreds and hundreds of likes and shares and comments. And yeah, wow, it's a lot. And it was pretty awesome, I gotta say. Still, without delay, let's dig into the content. Manifest missions more important than money. Elon's businesses are built on powerful missions focused on empowered visions for the future. The way Elon shows the businesses he works on today is by asking himself the question, what are some of the other problems that are likely to affect the future of humanity? The conclusions Elon came to are the internet, renewable energy and transport, improving human genetics, making life multiplanetary, and artificial intelligence. Elon realized an incredible opportunity emerging with the internet, and after only 2 days at Stanford University, he dropped out and started an internet company when he could not find a job. The internet company he started was called Zip2, which was the internet's first maps and directions, white pages and yellow pages. It was completely coded by Elon and sold to Compaq for $307 million in 1999, when Elon was just 27 years old. From there, Elon set out to revolutionize the financial industry, and he did just that by launching X.com, which merged with PayPal and adopted the PayPal name. Elon was the largest investor in PayPal and got the largest payday when PayPal was acquired by eBay for $1.5 billion. Today, PayPal's market cap is over $354 billion. After the sale of PayPal to eBay, Elon invested the entirety of his $165 million from the PayPal sale into Tesla, SpaceX, and SolarCity. Tesla has since acquired SolarCity and become the most valuable car company in the world, by far. Today, Tesla is worth more than 10 times the value of BMW. SpaceX has become the most innovative rocket company and remains privately owned, with Elon owning the majority of shares. All of this success was possible because Elon focused on delivering as much value and innovation as possible while being able to deliver big results with the future-focused businesses he has built. Elon has created plenty of profit as a byproduct of the massive amount of positive impact and value creation he has delivered to the market. Money was never Elon's sole motive. Certainly both money and impact go hand in hand, since both are contained within many people's idea of success. You gotta start with a reason to get out of the bed in the morning. Like Elon says, it's important to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Money alone is not the secret to his success. Having a mission that matters and gives you a reason to get out of bed can even be more compelling than cash. You gotta ask yourself, are my efforts making the world a little bit better? That kind of thing. With a strong mission to rally behind, you can use the mission to motivate your employees and help your team thrive. Ultimately, Elon has proven that focusing on important missions and building innovative products that improve the world is a powerful way to create plenty of money and lasting success. Move towards opportunity. Elon started his life in South Africa. His mom is Canadian. At the age of 17, Elon came to Canada by himself. He was planning to stay with an uncle in Montreal, but after calling his mother in South Africa, he found out his uncle had gone to Minnesota. So he called a second cousin out of the blue, and after a 1,900-mile bus ride, he hitched a ride to his house. Elon worked odd jobs for a year, including some brutal work cleaning boilers in a hazmat suit at a lumber mill. It was the best paying job he could find, and Elon did not shy away from the hard work. From there, he worked cutting logs in British Columbia and went on to attend one of Canada's best universities. Elon enrolled at Queen's University in 1988. He chose to go there over Waterloo because he thought Queen's would have more pretty girls. Queen's is located in Kingston, Ontario. I've studied at Queen's and lived on campus during a program I was selected to be a part of well over a decade ago. Queen's is a beautiful campus. It's on the shore of a big lake called Appinicon Lake. One of my favorite bands of all time is a band from Kingston called The Tragically Hip. My favorite hip song is called Head by a Century, and it reminds me of Elon. After his undergrad in Canada, in 1992, Elon emigrated to the United States, where he became a multimillionaire, then a billionaire, then the world's richest man, and he is currently one of the wealthiest humans alive with a strong chance of becoming the world's first trillionaire as his powerful companies bloom. Although Elon certainly would have been successful in any country, he credits America in part for his great success there. And he said, "There's definitely no other country where I could have done this." In 2020, when Elon gained the most wealth, he moved from California to Texas. In doing so, he avoided the steep capital gains tax in California, and this saved him billions of dollars in the process. The lesson to be learned is not to be tied down to wherever you are because of inertia. Move freely and go where you can achieve the greatest success. Work like hell. Elon Musk's work ethic is simply fierce. This is Elon's advice for a young entrepreneur wanting to achieve success. Work like hell. I mean, you have to put in 80 to 100-hour work weeks every week. This improves the odds of success. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in a 100-hour work week, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that you'll achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve. Elon also mentioned at a similar point during his 2012 USC commencement address. He said, "You need to work super hard." So what does super hard mean? Well, when my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office. We slept on the couch, and we showered in the YMCA. We were so hard up that we had just one computer. So the computer was up during the day and I was coding at night. 7 days a week, all the time. And I sort of briefly had a girlfriend in that period. In order to be with me, she had to sleep in the office. So work hard, like every waking hour, particularly if you're starting a company. Now, working every waking hour is not for everyone, but it is for people who want to achieve at the highest level. During vital growth phases of SpaceX and Tesla, Elon worked as many as 120 hours per week and would sleep in the conference room, or even on the factory floor. These days, he tends to work 80 to 90 hours per week, which is still more than twice the amount of someone who only works 40 hours per week. In a Pando monthly fireside chat, Elon explained how his companies succeed. You only build value in a company if you're doing hard work to solve tough problems. That's why companies are valuable. If you're thinking about starting a company, realize the more hours you put towards your business, the more your business will grow. The closer you get to Elon's level of working every waking hour, the greater your odds of success will be. Realize the power of the internet. When Elon describes the birth of the internet, he often exclaims, "The invention of the internet is like humanity acquiring a nervous system." In his Axel Springer Award talk, Elon said of the internet, "It's not like a place you can email or post pictures or something. Really, the internet is like a nervous system for humanity. Whereas previously, communication was like osmosis. For information to travel somewhere, you'd have to call someone over the phone or write them a letter. And then that letter would be carried to a series of people to the destination. Now communication can happen instantly from any place in the world to anyone, and it doesn't need a human to carry it. This is sort of like at a cellular level, you see a primitive small multicellular creature will communicate via osmosis from one cell to the next, or diffusion essentially. But once you have a more sophisticated organism, you have a nervous system. The speed at which information can travel is much faster, and the accessibility of information is fundamentally different. If you want in the middle of the Amazon jungle with a satellite connection, you can have access to all of the world's information. Whereas previously, even if you live in the Library of Congress in the US, where all the books are, you would still only have access to a fraction of the world's information. This is basically humanity becoming a superorganism, to the degree that's not possible unless you have essentially instant live speed communication from anywhere to anywhere, as opposed to osmosis, diffusion. So the above statement from Elon puts into powerful perspective the power and importance of the internet. And Elon lived near the heart of Silicon Valley for decades. Only recently did Elon move to Texas, where SpaceX now launches rockets from Boca Chica, aka Starbase. Reinvest in your own success. I'm going to start this off with a quote from Elon Musk. I always invest my own money into the companies that I create. I don't believe in the whole thing of using other people's money. I don't think that's right. I'm not going to ask other people to invest in something if I'm not prepared to do so myself. When Elon started Zip2 with his younger brother Kimball, he was so hard up for money, he worked and slept in the office because it was cheaper than an apartment, and him and Kimball could not afford both. Elon and Kimball only had one computer, so during the day it was used as a server for Zip2, and Elon would code during the night, every night. Elon is a year older than Kimball, and Team Musk proved to be an awesome duo. Zip2 was acquired by Compaq for $307 million. Elon received $22 million and Kimball received $15 million for their shares of the company when Elon was only 27 years old and Kimball was 26. Now, after becoming a multimillionaire, Elon could have easily retired and lived the rest of his life relaxing on a beach. But laziness has never been Elon's style. Elon took half of his money and put it into an online financial services company called X.com. This is why Elon became the largest shareholder when X merged with PayPal. Elon brought the most to the table. In large part because of the $12 million Elon invested into his success with PayPal, they were able to offer $20 for each new user, and this turbo boosted new user growth and helped PayPal achieve 100,000 users within their first active month. After the new user bonus was removed, people continued to join PayPal for many reasons because it was, and still is, a very robust online payment and financial solution. At first, Elon and the PayPal team built out a large suite of solutions to give all financial services that were desired by customers. It turned out email payments intrigued investors the most, so they focused on that innovation, and the business grew at an amazing pace, often many thousands of users per day. In October 2002, when eBay acquired PayPal, the acquisition was for $1.5 billion, and of this amount, Elon received $180 million. In 2020, PayPal gave Elon his X.com domain, which was part of the acquisition deal with eBay. And as of March 2021, PayPal and the market cap of PayPal was $285.89 billion. Now, of the $180 million that Elon had after selling PayPal, he ended up investing all of that money into SpaceX, Tesla, and SolarCity. A quote from Elon goes, "My proceeds from PayPal were $180 million. I put $100 million in SpaceX, $70 million in Tesla, and $10 million in SolarCity. I had to borrow money for rent." And although it certainly seemed very risky at the time, Elon reinvesting into the success has definitely paid off. Now, if Elon had chosen to quit rather than risk it all, he would certainly not be one of the wealthiest humans alive today, and the world would not be as awesome of a place. SpaceX has revolutionized the rocket industry by making rockets reusable. They first achieved a successful landing and recovery of a first-stage rocket booster in 2015. In November 2016, Tesla acquired SolarCity, which was at the time the largest provider of solar rooftop panels. Tesla has been revolutionizing the auto industry and the energy market since Elon Musk became involved with the company in 2004. Since then, Tesla has won the highest safety honor from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. With ceaseless innovation, they have successfully shifted the entire car market towards electrification and emerged as a market leader. In 2020, Tesla became the most valuable car company in the world. And on January 7th, Elon surpassed Jeff Bezos as the wealthiest man alive. Tighten up your timelines. Rhymes are enduring, and Elon has some catchphrases that pack a punch of memorable management info. When he gave a Starship update, he explained the management mantra, which enabled him to build the ship in just 4 months. He said, "If the schedule is long, it's wrong. If it's tight, it's right. The best part is no part. The best process is no process. It weighs nothing, costs nothing, can't go wrong." So Elon explained that time is the ultimate currency, and an extension of this means optimizing for time efficiency. And that is the ultimate optimization. So if the design takes too long to build, it's the wrong design, says Elon. By utilizing a recursive feedback loop, Elon is able to speed up the production schedule. Another time-optimizing insight Elon shared is to minimize the amount of needed parts. He says, "The tendency is to overcomplicate things. The things I'm most impressed with when I meet with the design team at SpaceX is what did you undesign," he said. The tighter the feedback loop and the fewer parts needed in production are two key factors in production time optimization. and you can apply these strategies to your own life. Keep Elon's advice in mind and always seek to optimize your time. Help save lives. At Tesla, safety is the number one priority. Certainly at SpaceX, safety is a priority as well, and this is reflected in the fact that SpaceX has flown several crew missions to space and the ISS without any casualties or major problems. Now at Tesla, not surprisingly, the great priority of safety combined with Tesla's incredible rate of innovation have made Tesla into the safest and smartest car company in the world. Tesla is the only car to ever receive a 6-star safety rating. The rating system has even been adjusted now, so they're technically 5 stars, even though the latest built Teslas are the safest Teslas ever built. In his interview where Elon had turbulent words for bankers, when on an investor's call, he said, "There are over 1.2 million automobile deaths per year. How many of them do you read about? But if it's an autonomous death, it's headline news." In fact, Tesla vehicles are significantly safer than the competition and are the safest cars on the road. The mission of SpaceX is directly related to human survival, as making life multiplanetary is essentially a backup of humanity and human consciousness. And now even to go to the Boring Company, the tunnels they created had the potential to literally solve the problem of traffic, which will contribute to countless lives being saved. Yes, that's right. Even the Nada flamethrower selling company has the potential to save lives. And in fact, a flamethrower can even help save lives as a weapon of defense and as a deterrent to aggressors. However, this life-saving capacity pales in comparison to the millions of lives that can be potentially saved annually by utilizing tunnels and self-driving cars to mitigate hostile traffic and the death caused by cars. Any product that can be positioned as a lifesaver will find itself with a strong value proposition. Humans are hardwired for survival, so help promote survival, and human instinct will compel people to buy more of what you have in store. Be bold and take risks, especially when you're young. During the speech Elon gave on June 15, 2012, he shared the following advice with the young graduating class. Now is the time to take risks. You don't have kids and your obligations are limited, but as you get older, your obligations will increase. So once you have a family, you start taking risks not just for yourself, but for your family as well. It gets much harder to do things that might not work out. So now is the time to do that, before you have those obligations. So I would encourage you to take risks now, do something bold. You won't regret it. Now, Elon says that the older you get, the riskier risks become because your biological clock is ticking. So while you're still full of your youthful vigor, you should do something bold. Be bold before you grow old or suffer the regret of never doing what you could have done. Starting a successful business is not easy. It takes hard work and dedication, which become harder with mounting family obligations. If you do not have children yet and are considering starting a business, I recommend you start your business sooner than later. Fewer obligations mean a greater ability to invest your time into creating success for your business, your projects, and your brand. Elon shared his thoughts on risk and innovation at an ISSRDC talk. He said, "I don't really like risk for risk's sake. And I do think a lot of things are risky with a low chance of success, but if you want to try and come up with an innovative breakthrough, that's going to be how it is. Anything that significantly innovates is going to come with a significant risk of failure. Yes, significant innovations come with significant risks. However, they also come with significant rewards if you can achieve them. The harder you work and the more you can mitigate your risk can increase your odds of achieving your goals. So work hard, innovate often, and do your best to make your product awesome." Have a sense of urgency. The saying, "patience is a virtue," is more harmful than it is beneficial in many situations. Urgency is often more of a virtue than patience. Without a sense of urgency, important tasks will be patiently deterred indefinitely. Elon is a man who fully grasps the necessity of urgency for accelerating important advancements. Elon's sense of urgency permeates many of his actions. Elon even eats fast and has said, "If there's a way I could not eat, so I could work more, I would not eat. I wish there was a way to get nutrients without sitting down for a meal." Apparently when Elon goes to the washroom, he even uses the urinal urgently. Efficiency is an element of everything Elon does. In a business context, Elon's sense of urgency manifests itself through the aggressive timelines he sets. This is especially brilliant. Aggressive timelines demand innovative thinking and an aggressive work ethic. The timelines Elon sets are aggressive to the point of being unrealistic. He says his unrealistic expectations are a result of his optimism, and it seems like they help his teams get more done in less time. Elon and Tesla do occasionally end up pushing back timelines, but if you zoom out and look what Tesla has accomplished in the past 2 decades, it's obvious the timeline strategy is beneficial. Even if Tesla and SpaceX's companies' projects are late, they almost always accomplish what they set out to do, and are great at making progress over time. Elon said, "I kind of say when I think it can occur, but then I'm typically optimistic about these things. It pretty much always happens, but not always on the timeline exactly. Urgency is certainly an asset when it helps expedite positive results. Slow and steady will lose the race to urgent and steady every time." Be less wrong. In a Starbase factory tour with the Everyday Astronaut YouTube channel, Elon explained his 5-step engineering process where he explains what he wants everyone at Starbase to implement rigorously. He said, "The sort of 5-step process is, first, make your requirements less dumb. If the requirements are definitely dumb, it does not matter who gave them to you. It's particularly dangerous if a smart person gave you the requirements because you might not question them enough. Everyone's wrong. No matter who you are, everyone is wrong some of the time. Then, try very hard to delete the part or the process. This is actually very important. If you're not occasionally adding things back in, you're not deleting enough parts. Are not being added back into the design at least 10% of the time. Not enough parts are being deleted." Now, Musk noted that the bias tends to be very strongly towards, let's add this part or process, step in case we need it. Now, additionally, each required part and process must come from a name, not a department, as a department cannot be asked why a requirement exists, but a person can. So, each part and process must come from a name. Now, the next part is simplify and optimize the design. This is step 3, as the most common error of a smart engineer is to optimize something that should not exist. Next is accelerate cycle time. Elon says, "You're moving too slowly. Go faster. But don't go faster until you've worked on the other 3 things first." All right? Next is automate. An important part of this is to remove in-process testing after the problems have been diagnosed. If a product is reaching the end of a production line with a high acceptance rate, there is no need for in-person or in-process testing. Everyone is wrong sometimes. Work on being less wrong, and you'll get the right results. Innovation leads to domination. On a call in 2018 with investment bankers, where Elon refused several boneheaded comments and told day traders or investors afraid of volatility straight up not to buy Tesla stock, because, as he said, "I'm not here to convince you to buy our stock. I could care less." Now, what Elon does care about is innovation. On the same call, he shared some powerful insights about innovation, such as, what matters is the pace of innovation. It is a fundamental determinant to competitiveness. Let's say competitors, maybe they come out with something new every 6 years. We're maybe every 2 to 3 years. So if our innovation is twice that of a given competitor, and this is generally true of companies in any industry, whichever company has the highest rate of innovation, unless that company is actively killed by its competitors or in some way that's nefarious, or shoots itself in the foot, it will at some point exceed those competitors. Like, this is obvious this would occur with Amazon and Walmart, because Walmart's rate of innovation is negligible, and Amazon's was very high. The outcome was obvious a long time ago. Now, in a more recent interview about the Axel Springer Award, which Elon ended up winning, Elon echoed similar sentiments, saying, "The company with the higher rate of innovation will unequivocally win long term." So the lesson here is clear. Innovate or die. Moreover, the more aggressively you innovate and iterate, the faster you will dominate. Elon said, "Innovation per year is what matters, not innovation absent time. Because if you want to make, say, 100% improvement in something, and that took 100 years or 1 year, that's radically different." So it's like, What is your rate of innovation? That matters. And the rate of innovation, is it accelerating or decelerating? At InvestHK, Elon said, innovation comes from questioning the way things have been done before. And if in the education system, you're taught not to do that which will inhibit entrepreneurship. So the interviewer said, being able to question what you were taught, Elon said, being able to say, is there a better way? Elon has innovated with Tesla to the point where multiple sources and undeniable facts confirm that Tesla has created the best and safest car ever. In fact, the headline of Consumer Reports about a Tesla in 2015 reads, breaking, Tesla 85D is the best car we've tested in 80 years of testing cars. That's the game-changing level of innovation you need to have to position yourself in the marketplace where you're in a category of your own. Here are some of Elon's quotes on innovation. He said, starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell, as it is the product they sell. He also said great companies are built on great products. And failure is essentially irrelevant unless it's catastrophic. Although Elon does not strive for failure, he certainly does not hide from it either. And that's why he's been able to push on and succeed with SpaceX after their first 3 rockets failed and he was down to his last dime. Facing failure head on and learning from it is a lesson I learned the hard way. Once I got a speeding ticket, and rather than setting the court date in my calendar, I shoved the ticket in a folder and basically forgot about it. Since I missed the court date, I got the maximum fine in my absence. Had I faced that situation head on, maybe I would have emerged successful. At least I would have gotten a lesser fine. Or perhaps the cop would not have shown up for the court date and my ticket would have been dropped. So these days, no matter what, and no matter how difficult the issue I may be facing, I deal with it head on, because that's the only way to resolve the issue at hand. Action is the antidote to despair. As Elon says, failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you're not innovating enough. If every time somebody came up with an idea it had to be successful, you don't get people coming up with examples. So failure is not to be feared. In fact, just the opposite. It should be encouraged, because with more experiments and more innovations, which will lead to more failures, you will ultimately end up with more successes and a faster pace of innovation. Relentlessly improve your products. In a 2020 video interview with the Wall Street Journal, Elon shares advice geared towards other CEOs. Elon recommends CEOs to, quote, spend less time with finance and in conference rooms and on PowerPoint, and spend more time trying to make your product as amazing as possible. Make your product better. That is what really matters. So step 1 is, have you tried? Like really tried. And step 2 is try harder. This reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Elon of all time, which he shared with a bunch of high schoolers who he did a Hack Club Ask Me Anything video chat with. Elon said, you've got to try. Believe in yourself and try. People can do way more than they think. So be an absolute perfectionist about the product you produce or the service you provide, and that will make all the difference. Think long term. The ability to delay gratification is one of the most accurate predictors of future success. The more you think about long-term results, the more long-term results will be realized by you. And long-term always trumps the short-term. Elon says, you do want to have a significant financial reward, and you want to have a possible effect on the world. So think about the best case probabilities and realize the first step is to establish something as possible, and then probability will occur. Then once you've brainstormed the probabilities of different actions, create a plan and pursue the best path. Be active on Twitter. Another organic marketing strategy Elon uses, perhaps more than any other strategy, is his regular posting on Twitter. Although Elon does not preach about this success tip, his habit of using Twitter on an ongoing basis makes it obvious that the strategy of using Twitter is a key weapon in Elon's elite marketing arsenal. Elon has finessed multi-million-dollar deals on Twitter, such as the world's largest battery in Australia, and often directly responds to customer feedback from Tesla owners. The fact Elon clearly manages his own Twitter makes him more real and relatable than any other CEO who refuses to make time for the medium. Even though I'm a car and truck enthusiast, I cannot think of the name of a single other automaker's CEO. Now, social media sites are engineered to get you to spend as much time on them as possible. So I recommend using social media with caution, as it can be extremely distracting. One way Joe Rogan hedges against wasting his time is with his post and ghost strategy. This strategy is simply to make a post and then not check back on it every 15 minutes. Applying this strategy gives you remarkable reach without the time-wasting energy. So, more signal, less noise. As far as I know, Elon is the only CEO who posts memes on Twitter on a regular basis. He's also the most powerful CEO. Elon's personable and non-stereotypical CEO style has been a huge part of his success. Leveraged laughter. From posting memes, to hosting a meme review, to cracking jokes on Twitter and everywhere else, Elon Musk is a hilarious man. And being funny is a powerful trait. Laughter is so physically positive, many consider it the best medicine. There's something instinctive about laughing. It's intrinsic, it's automatic, it makes you feel good. Laughter is positive. Like action, it's an antidote to despair. Elon gets this, and part of the reason he is loved by so many is because he makes a good joke. This tweet, for example, made me laugh. He said, "If there's ever a scandal about me, please call it Elongate." And it resonated with many others also, beyond the 698,000 people that initially liked the tweet. It also spurred the creation of a new charitably inspired cryptocurrency called Elongate. It's unclear whether Elon is directly involved in Elongate yet at this point, but if you're curious about what they're up to, you can find them at ElongateOG on Twitter. Be obsessed. Elon has been known to spend so much time working he will actually sleep in the Tesla and SpaceX factories. And it's not as if he has a plush bedroom in a factory loft or something. In one interview, Elon showed the plain couch in a Tesla conference room he slept on. He said it was so uncomfortable he ended up sleeping on the floor. Sleeping in his factories is something Elon does to this day, even as one of the richest humans alive. In a recent interview in December of 2020, when Elon was accepting the Axel Springer Award in Germany, the interviewer asked Elon where he was spending the night. Elon replied, "In the German Tesla factory." The interviewer asked where in the factory. Elon replied, "In the conference room." That's right. One of the world's wealthiest men chooses to spend the night in a conference room on a factory rather than a fancy hotel. When asked about this in a Clubhouse audio chat, he admitted that not only had he slept in the conference room, he also slept outside of it, in a sleeping bag, on the concrete factory floor. That's the level of obsession that's required for Elon's level of success. Create a superior product. Creating an amazing product is the strongest type of marketing there is. Word-of-mouth marketing is the OG of influencer marketing, and it remains powerful to this day. Influencers, the media, and everyone in between are all human beings. And the best way to get them spreading the word about your company for free is to be creating an incredible product that amazes and delights. Apple's another example of this. Although Apple certainly does not shy away from advertising, their marketing would fall flat if their products were not designed with a high quality in mind. When media outlets start talking about how your product is the best in the world, that's when you know you're on the right track. Delight your customers. As long as people stay super focused on creating the absolutely best product or service that really delights their end customer, you gotta stay focused on that, because basically, if you get it such that your customers want you to succeed, then you probably will. If your customers love you, your odds of success are dramatically higher, said Elon. And at InvestHK, Elon said, "Really focus on a product your customers love. It's so rare that you can buy a product and love the product when you bought it. There are very few things that fit into this category. If you can come up with something like that, your business will be successful for sure." Now, Tesla produces cars that save plenty of lives and produce plenty of happiness. So it's no surprise they have plenty of sales as an outcome of their efforts. Sales that are continuing to rise. And now, SpaceX is delighting not only astronauts and the SpaceX team, they're also delighting civilian crews, led by ultra-wealthy benefactors for now, on trips around the Earth, such as the Inspiration 4 mission, which orbited the Earth for 3 days recently. Jared Isaacman and his crew of 4 recently splashed down in the ocean after 3 days in orbit around Earth, and setting a record for the first time, 3 Dragon capsules have been in orbit simultaneously. And soon, SpaceX will be doing a civilian lunar tourism trip around the moon called Dear Moon, with Japanese benefactor Yusaku Maezawa. The Dear Moon mission will take place on a larger spaceship, the Starship, and will take Miyazawa, 8 civilians, and 1 or 2 crew members around the dark side of the moon. An artist did this rendering of a floating violinist playing for the Dear Moon audience in space. Undoubtedly, the show will be a delight. So whether it's Tesla, SpaceX, flamethrowers, or any other awesome innovation Elon is involved with, you can be sure, as long as Elon is calling the shots, the fantastic products he and his engineering teams bring to light will continue to delight. Create win-win situations. Tesla and SpaceX are winning because they have the most innovative products for the best prices. Elon explains his powerful business philosophy as the house always wins. He says, "We believe in doing deals where both parties benefit, and where there's an asymmetry and underperformance on our part. Our goal in doing so is to build long-term trust. If people know that we will not take advantage of them and aspire to fairness, even at our own expense, they are much more likely to work with us in the future." So buying a car is one of the biggest purchases a person can make, so trust is totally a factor. Long-term success is more powerful than trying to make a short-term quick buck. Striving and succeeding in becoming the most trustworthy car company will enable more sales to flow. And becoming the trustworthy person in your industry will cause more sales to flow your way as more people trust you and your company. Rise above fear. Fearlessness is not the answer. If it was, fear would not exist, because fear is a product of survival instincts. And though many of the threats we have conquered in the past are extinct, you've really got to think. Fear is clearly beneficial for survival. Now, take it from Elon. He says, "I wouldn't say I'm fearless. In fact, I feel fear quite strongly." And in a Y Combinator interview, Elon shared, "Something that can be quite helpful is fatalism to some degree. If you just accept the probabilities, then that diminishes fear. So, succumbing to fear is powerless. Instead of shrinking from fearful situations, feel the fear and do it anyways. Conquering your fears are powerful. Choose the more powerful way. Be unrelentingly optimistic." Elon is known for setting impossible deadlines and making requests of his employees to cut costs by up to 90%. Only bold goals lead to bold achievements. Mediocre goals rarely render greatness. With the optimism to tackle massive goals, you definitely have a better chance of achieving success. And even if you fall a bit short of your original target, you will still achieve far more than if you settled for less. So challenge yourself to think big, and your odds of creating big returns increase. Seeking extraordinary levels of achievement is required to achieve exceptional, lasting success. The 21 Elon Musk-inspired tips you experienced reveal a fraction of the power from the most important project of my life, Elonology. And even though Elon's missions are bigger than money, Elon's methods have made him the wealthiest human of all time. And the best part is, you can use Elon's powerful methods too. The methods Elon Musk uses have helped his net worth skyrocket to an amazing $272 billion and climbing, plus his crypto. Revealing Elon Musk's best secrets for success is what Elonology is about. These are a few of the awesome things you can discover inside of Elonology. How Elon built multiple billion-dollar businesses without advertising. Elon's incredible innovation insights. The 5-step process for powerful production success. How to get more done in less time. There is so much great content inside of Elonology. There are literally 119 power-packed Elon Musk modules. You're going to get access to the Elonology ebook, audiobook MP3s, and awesome Elon Musk videos inside the Elon Musk Video Vault. Elonology, the complete package. It's audio, it's PDFs, it's text, and it's videos. And you can use it on any device. 100% satisfaction guarantee. Your satisfaction with Elonology is 100% guaranteed. If you want your money back for any reason. It's guaranteed. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. I know you're going to get so much more value out of Elonology than it costs. Now, how much does Elonology cost? I mean, Elon is $272 billion. But the limited time special offer I have today, it's not $399 like it's been in the past. It's not even $99 for a limited time. It's only $13.99. And you can go to elonology.com/special offer and take advantage of this awesome deal today and discover the secrets of the wealthiest man of all time, Elon Musk. So I highly encourage you to go to elonology.com/special-offer. Take advantage of this limited time special offer. It's only going to be for a limited time. There is going to be a countdown timer on the page. When that countdown timer gets to 0, the offer is no longer valid. So go to the page, $13.99. That price is only going to go up over time. These strategies are literally worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Hundreds of billions of dollars. And you can get these strategies that Elon has used to become the greatest success of all time for $13.99. So take action, click that button, click the buy now button, buy Elonology, and I'll see you inside the members area. And if you want to get a hold of me, if you have any questions, post order, if you need help accessing your password so that you can get into the members area, you can send me an email, Garin@elonology.com, and I'd be happy to help you. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Please share it around. These are 21 of some of the best tips that Elon has to share. So share this with your friends, share this with your social networks, get it out there, and join us inside the members area, elonology.com/special-offer. Thanks so much for watching, and have yourself a great day. Cheers.